For the second straight season, the San Diego Chargers are in the AFC Championship game. This time, they'll be at home thanks to the upset win of the Raiders over the number 1 seed Bengals. These two teams clearly have a history with each other. Raiders stole the AFC West title last year, but this year the roles reversed after a 6-0 start for Oakland. San Diego stole the AFC West title this season. They both faced off against each other in the wild card last year. Now they'll face off to see what team goes to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. Julius Peppers is down there getting the Raiders pumped up for this game. The Chargers are getting themselves ready for this game today. Heck, even the fans are getting ready for the game today. Let's go down to the kickoff. The Chargers won the coin toss and they will get the ball to start the conference championship game. Janikowski with the kick. The game is officially underway. Jammer back to return this one. He'll bring it out. It was about 4 yards deep and is tackled at the 20. Probably should have kneeled it. Would have been the same result. Let's see what the first offensive play of the game will be. Oakland looks to bring the blitz up the middle. Linebacker creeping in. They hand it off to Tomlinson on a sweep, but any hole closes quickly. Maybe a yard on the carry. It's second down, 2 receivers to the left, 2 tight ends to the right. Lewis under center, drops back, pocket collapsing, takes off with it, dives for the first down. I guess he's feeling much more confident after last week. Almost immediately, the guard loses on his block. Lewis saw and took off. A new set of downs after the scramble by Lewis. The tight end goes in motion. That's Sandoval. 2 tight ends to one side. They hand it off to Tomlinson. Right side. He runs over a defender. Tries to power through 2 other guys. But is stopped a yard short of the first. I mentioned it last week. But Tomlinson is going into his 10th season next year. And the question is, will he still be the starter here in San Diego? There's only a yard to go for the first down, and they have all their tight ends out on the field. Gates is the player in motion. They hand it off to Tomlinson, looking for the edge. Juked the soul out of that man and got the first down. They haven't even thrown a pass yet. The Raiders think this is the down they do pass, as they have everyone backed off the line. They hand it off to Tomlinson. His fullback gets a block. His receiver sets up the edge. There's nobody in front of him. It's a foot race at this point. They're trying to catch up from behind, but it's too late. LT showing flashes of his former self on that run. The fans are losing it for LT. The man has been the heart and soul of this team for years. And there he is celebrating with his blockers. Once the fullback got that block and the receivers got the edge, he was gone. He almost got caught. Young LT wouldn't have been caught up too, but he still got speed, just not as much. The extra point is next. After that long touchdown run, it's up and good. With that extra point, the Chargers now have more points in this matchup against the Raiders than last year in the wildcard game. LT's a big reason why. Let's see if Oakland can keep up with this Chargers offense. Wright will be kicking it off, not deep enough to get into the end zone. Will be fielded around the 1.5 yard mark, has some blockers, but they don't help, being tackled down at the 21, and there's LT on the phone, probably talking about his touchdown run. We'll get to see this Raiders offense and how they managed to put up 29 on the Bengals last week. Kennedy in the shotgun, he steps back, throws deep to the left, and should have been picked off by Mike Brown. This man had the ball thrown right at him, and he still can't get an interception. He is in his 3rd year with the team. Speculation is he'll be released after this year. Second down, Raiders are in the single back set, 4 receivers on the field, 1 in motion. Kennedy drops back, throws over the middle to Byron Carpenter at the first down marker. This doesn't look good. Carpenter is still down on the ground. It looks like he's going to be carted away. That's 3 players, including last week, being carted off. He did pick up the first down, which means a new set of down for the Raiders. Tight end in motion. They hand it off to Newton up the middle and tackled by Felipe Sparks at the line. With a name like that, he was destined for this team. Second down, after the stuffed run, they go back to the ground. Big hole for the back to run through. There is a flag on the play. Tackled after getting past the sticks. The flag is being called for clipping on the receiver. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty and a replay of down. That means it's going to be 2nd and 25 coming up. Trips to one side. Kennedy has time, plenty of time. I guess this is what they mean when they say you have all the time in the world. Finds Hubbard over the middle for the first down. He was the player who was called for the clipping on the previous play. He could have sat back and watched the entire Irishman movie in that pocket. Hall got sucked back into a block but laid a hit on him, making him think twice about holding on to the ball for a week. After that big pass play, it's a new set of downs at the 47. Oakland is spreading everyone out wide. Kennedy drops back. Great protection again. Finds the tight end again and knocked out. No, they're calling it a fumble. Oakland somehow recovers the loose ball. Jerome Kennedy is the quarterback for this Raiders team. Going into his 5th season, it looks like Lewis and him will have a long rivalry to come. It's 2nd and 1 after the fumble recovery for Oakland. They're in a 2 tight end set. Chargers bring the blitz, throws to the left, tipped by Henderson, and luckily it just fell incomplete. 2nd and 1 is usually a shot play, but not on that last one. Will they hand it off here to try and get the first? Kennedy drops back to the running back in the flat, incomplete. Are they calling it a lateral? It was a lateral. Oakland recovered it. 2nd time they've recovered a fumble on this drive. Let's see if we can get a better look on it. He throws it at about the 48, and I don't know. It doesn't look like a fumble to me. Either way, it brings up 4th down. I don't think the Raiders would have risk going for it, but if they were, they would have challenged that play, as the kick is going to be fielded from inside the 10. Florence on the return tries to outrun a defender and tackled at the 22. The Chargers' chance to add more points to their lead. Lewis making an adjustment. There's a corner blitz. He sees it, throws in that direction, but deflected by Gibson. Moss not putting a lot of effort on that one. It's 2nd down after the incompletion in the I formation. Lewis drops back. Good pocket. Throws deep to Moss again. Intercepted this time. The pass looked a bit underthrown, but Moss didn't help by not being aggressive on that ball. Oakland will have good field position. That's the 2nd interception Lewis has thrown in the playoffs. He made the right decision. Moss is one-on-one, but the throw was short. Doesn't help that Moss did nothing to stop it from happening. First play after the turnover, Kennedy drops back, throws to his left, has his receiver on the out route, Clark on the coverage, there is a flag. The call is pass interference on Clark. I'm not sure about that one. That is going to be the end of the first quarter. Looked like the Chargers were going to run away with it, but Oakland has a chance to tie it here. Chargers 7, Raiders 0. If you were questioning if this was the AFC Championship game, there's the logo right there. Kennedy drops back and throws, led his receiver too much, even stretching out for it, he couldn't make the catch. 2nd down coming up. Kennedy is under center, making an adjustment at the line. They hand it off to Newton up the middle. Collin gets in the way, but still manages to get 3 on the run. 3rd down, and it'll be a disappointment if they let an opportunity to score. A touchdown slip through their fingers. Kennedy drops back, throws, and caught by Hill over the middle to get them inside the 10. This offensive line has been the strength of this passing game, giving Kennedy plenty of space to throw. Look at those linebackers just missing making a play. Last week against Jacksonville, the Chargers were able to have a goal line stand. Can they do it again this week? Kennedy steps back, throws to his left, and knocked away by Clark. Stuck to his man like glue. It's a good breakup. No PI on the play. They ready up for 2nd down. Looks to be a counter to Newton, but he's swallowed up behind the line. Felipe Sparks on the tackle. It's now 3rd down. Can the Chargers stop them one more time? Raiders with a trip bunch to the right. Kennedy drops back, pressure's getting there to the end zone. Touchdown, Oakland. Howell with the catch on Mike Brown. This is going to tie up the game, barring a missed extra point. What looked to be a chance for the Chargers to redeem themselves and stop the Raiders to a field goal ended up being the redemption for Oakland after coming up short on their last drive with mistakes. Lieber almost got there for a sack, but Kennedy has a fast hand. We're getting a report that Mike Brown looks to be done for the day. Hammond, the 7th round pick for the Chargers, will be in at free safety. Brown missed an interception on the first play, and he also allowed that touchdown today that led to the 7-7 tie. Last time Chargers had the ball, an underthrow by Lewis led to a Raiders interception. Can he shake off the turnover and fire on all cylinders on the next drive? Florence is a return man and will be tackled at the 24. We'll see if the Chargers can retake the lead. There's Kennedy and Howell still celebrating. Their touchdown drive they had earlier, they relied on the running game. Maybe this team is more dependent on the ground than they'd like to think. They pitch it to Tomlinson, right side, but the blocking does not hold up. Gets back to the line, maybe lost a yard. There's still 3 minutes left in the half. 2nd and 11, Lewis drops back, looks panicked, takes off with it. I think he ran over a lineman. He's getting chased down from behind and he got the first down. I'm not sure what I just saw. Let's look at the replay. The center can't hold his block. Guard doesn't help at all, but who needs him when you can just run him over like that? That's not what you want to see out of your quarterback. Who knows, maybe you do want to see that out of your quarterback. Lewis drops back, great protection, throws over the middle to Woods, makes the catch, gets to midfield before being brought down. That's what I would like to see out of my quarterback. To be fair, he didn't have a defender in his face immediately on this play. Tomato, potato. The clock is close to the 2-minute warning. Chargers are exactly at midfield. Lewis gets under center, drops back, and he's sacked immediately. Raiders brought the blitz and got to him quickly. Look at that replay. Oh, that one doesn't show it well. Do we have another angle? You see the guard completely lets him run by him. You're not going to last long in the NFL if you let them walk right past you. 2nd and 16 after the sack. We are at the 2-minute warning. Anthony Adams with the sack on the previous play. Lewis makes an adjustment at the line. Defense does the same thing. Lewis drops back and he's sacked again almost immediately. He was sacked again by Anthony Adams. This time they had a blocker in front of him, but the guard didn't do anything to help. You'd think you'd be watching Madden gameplay with the way the offensive line isn't blocking anyone. Lewis drops back, pressured again, throws deep. Berrien got behind the defense. He avoids one tackle, but he can't avoid the second. That was a touchdown saving tackle. Looked like they were setting up a screen and Lewis said screw it, and it worked. Last week Berrien had a rough game, but he comes up with a clutch 3rd down catch to keep the drive going. They hand it off to Tomlinson up the middle, who powers through for a few yards. Let's call it a 3-yard carry. San Diego is playing it smart, running the clock down to 24 seconds before taking a timeout. Lewis drops back, throws to the left. Owen on the out route for the first down, steps out of bounds. There's only 20 seconds left in the half. They're inside the red zone. Raiders bring the blitz. It can't get there in time. Lewis to the corner. Moss with a catch. They said he got his feet in. That's a touchdown. San Diego. Moss was the target on the interception earlier by Lewis, but it was underthrown that time. This time he says come my way again because it's going to be straight cash, homie. With this extra point, the Chargers are going to be back up on top by 7 points. Chargers 14, Raiders 7, and there's Randy Moss showing the world that he still has it just like LT. This has been an absolutely strange game in terms of the past. For a team that seemingly has youth in every position has been scoring because of their 2 veterans, LT and Randy Moss. The Raiders will be starting their next drive and probably final drive of the half. Let's see how the Raiders choose to end this half. It's going to be a pass. He throws it to Hubert, who makes Newton look silly out there. It's a foot race with Hammond and tackled out at the 38 with 5 seconds to go. That's just bad discipline on this defense. Why are you trying to make a play on it? Just go to the half. Now the Raiders have a chance at some points. They're going to attempt a long field goal at the 54-yarder for Seabass. We all know he's got a strong leg. It's up. It looks like he might have the distance, and it's short. The Chargers just got away with a mistake there. That'll be the final play of the half. The Raiders will go into the second half down by a touchdown, but they will receive the ball to start. Chargers 14, Raiders 7. Welcome back to the second half of the AFC Championship game. The Raiders are currently down by a touchdown, but they're going to get a chance to tie it all up as they'll be receiving the ball to start this half. The Chargers find themselves in a better position this time compared to the last time, but they can continue to keep the pressure on Oakland and come away with a win and their first Super Bowl appearance since January 26, 1995, where they got blown out by San Francisco. This is going to be a returnable kick. Brought out past the 20, tackled at the 22. Oakland has some work to do here. Their first drive ended in a punt, but they showed they could move it on this defense, getting a touchdown on their second drive. Trips bunch to the left for Oakland. Kennedy drops back and is sacked by Henderson. Came in untouched. Left tackle didn't even attempt to block him. It's now 2nd and 15. Chargers showing blitz. They hand it off. And Felipe Sparks on the blitz brings down Newton for a loss of 2. 3rd and long, and it's either going to be a screen or a deep shot, no in between. The pocket is collapsing around Kennedy, throws deep, and Hammond misses the pick. Newton with the tackle. Kennedy threaded the needle on that pass. Another week where the receivers are having their way with the secondary. Oakland will now have a new set of downs at the 44. Play action, plenty of time to the flat, and tackled immediately by Lieber, Mr. Reliable. 2nd and 10 after the completion for nothing. They hand it off to Newton up the middle, who had space, but Sparks brings them down for a gain of 2. They converted their last 3rd down. Can they do it again here? Trips to the left side. Chargers bring a blitz. It's a quick throw. Hill with a catch over Jammer. I think Oakland figured out this secondary. Wherever Clark is, throw the other way. They had a one-on-one with a corner not named Clark. Turns out it worked. With that pass, it sets them up in Chargers territory. Last time they were here, they missed a field goal. It's just a 3-man rush to the left, and Florence can't hold on for the interception. The Raiders spent half the quarter with the ball. Kennedy with a 3-step drop, throws to Hill in a tight window. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 1. Kennedy has been having a pretty good performance today, outshining Lewis, but he's still 0-1 in the playoffs against them. They've already converted 2 3rd downs. What's another one? Kennedy steps up to Hill on the slant. He somehow got that past Sparks and Lieber on that throw for another 1st down. They're just outside the red zone, trips to the right, they hand it off to Newton, right side, has some blockers, but only manages to get 4 on the carry. As you can see, they haven't been a run-heavy team, opting to pass it twice as much. They give it to Newton again, has a hole, and pushes past for the 1st down. They're now inside the red zone. Raiders are looking to go to the end zone. 4 receivers on the field. Chargers might have trouble in this 3-4 formation, and Henderson gets there for the sack. They disguised the pressure well, and it worked out for them. Floyd dropped back in coverage, forcing Kennedy to hold on to it. Oakland in the shotgun, probably to buy more time to throw. The snap, it's a draw. Newton has 1 defender to miss, but Ferguson wraps him up like a present. Well, 3rd down again. Chargers haven't had much success stopping them on the drive. Raiders looking to get 1 more conversion. Kennedy drops back, pressured, and off target. He had Howell 1-on-1, but not enough time, which means Seabass is back on the field. He has more than enough leg to make it from here. They're still down, but only by 4. The Raiders ate almost the entire 3rd quarter, leaving just 8 seconds left, meaning that we'll likely go into the 4th quarter, with this game being a 1-possession game. Jammer will be returning this ball from the 1-yard line, makes a juke, gets past the 20, and tackled at the 24. This will probably be the final play in the quarter. Lewis under center, drops back, pressure getting there, throws deep, Woods it's elbow covered, and the ball somehow sneaks into his arms for a completion. With pressure in his face, Lewis threw a dime to Woods. Can't beat perfection, and after that play, we'll be heading into the 4th quarter. The Chargers hold a small lead. San Diego 14, Oakland 10. We're now in the final quarter to determine the AFC champions. Chargers just need to milk this clock and maintain this lead. They hand it off to Tomlinson, who was gobbled up at the line of scrimmage. After having that big touchdown run to start the game, the Raiders have done a pretty good job at slowing down LT. If they're going to push it down the field, it'll have to be in the air. Lewis finds Woods again in tight coverage. These are not easy throws to make, and the Raiders have been very tight in coverage. When you're playing a quarterback that can make any throw, how do you stop it? Lewis drops back, pumps to his right, running out of time, and sacked. Well, I guess that's how you stop a quarterback who can make all the throws. Get him before he can make them. It's 2nd and 15 after the sack, just outside of field goal range. Lewis drops back, he's panicking, goes to take off with it, and sacked by Peppers before he can cross the line. Loss of 2 yards on the play. I think at this point you look for a play to get you into field goal range instead of going for the first and try to maintain a touchdown lead over Oakland. Lewis drops back again, moves to his left, throws deep, and Berrien holds on for the big 1st down. Last week he dropped crucial passes. This week he's become the clutch playmaker. I don't know what happened to Berrien's in the past 7 days, but he's fixed up his problems and has been a huge reason they're leading today. Oakland needs to stop the Chargers here to a field goal. There's only 3 minutes left in the game, and if they allow a touchdown, it might be over for them. Lewis rolls to his right, has time to the end zone, and Woods has an easy touchdown catch, and with that score, the Raiders are going to have to score quickly, which has been a problem for them today. They did miss a field goal before the half that would have made it an 8-point game, but now they find themselves down by 11, and the AFC Championship slipping away. This extra point will give the Chargers that 11-point lead, and all thanks to Berrien's clutch catch on that 3rd and long. With less than 3 minutes to go in the game, the Raiders will have to score twice. Is there another Heidi moment in this team? Don't worry, we will broadcast the entire game, and you will see who will go on to the Super Bowl. The returner gets past the 20 and down at the 23. Let's see if this game can get interesting again. Raiders come out with 4 receivers out wide. In a single back set, Kennedy is under center. It's a 3-step drop going deep, but it's picked off by Ferguson. He made that game-saving interception last week. He gets another one here, and he brings it back inside the 10. He's not a guy that's going to wow you with his regular season stats, but he certainly wakes up during the playoffs. He had an interception in the past 3 playoff games. A touchdown here would likely end the game for the Raiders. Even a field goal could put this away. They hand it off to Tomlinson, left side, and gains maybe 3 on the run. LT hasn't been used much, only 8 carries in the game, but he was able to break one early. We're now at the 2-minute warning. Time is ticking, and I don't think there's going to be enough time for the Raiders to come back as LT carries this up the middle for 3 on the run. Can the Raiders hold them to a field goal on the 10th carry? Tomlinson up the middle, fights through defenders, and gets his 2nd touchdown of the game. If it is his final season, he's going out with a bang. Kennedy isn't too happy as his interception led to 6 points for the Chargers and probably closed any opportunity for a comeback win. This will give them a 3-possession lead. 18 points is now needed for the Raiders to tie the game, and I don't see that happening in under 2 minutes. I think we can start declaring the Chargers the AFC Conference champs. Is it premature? Sure, but let's be honest here, who hasn't had a premature incident? That's how the Heidi game happened, but don't worry, we'll stick around till the end to make sure it's official, as he gets this one past the 20 and tackled at the 23. The Raiders are back out in a single back set, 3 receivers to one side, another on the right. Kennedy with a clean pocket, throws to the right, tipped by Jammer, and it's being hot potato, falls incomplete. Oakland is going to need to get some chunk plays if they plan on coming back. Kennedy quickly to the left, Howell with a catch, and 1st down. Kennedy wasn't having a bad performance if you take away the last interception, then it looked much better. In the shotgun, pocket collapsing, throws to his right, there's no pass interference on that incompletion. 2nd down, in the shotgun again, Kennedy drops back, takes a shot deep, tight coverage, and Newton comes away with an interception, and that's going to be the 2nd on the day for Kennedy, and he just collapsed in the 4th quarter. The Raiders ate up the entire 3rd quarter, but couldn't string a drive together to keep their season going, and Jerome Newton, who replaced Jammer, who replaced an injured Porter, showing he can be a starter. Chargers come out in victory formation, and that's going to be their first kneel down. Raiders still using their last timeouts. The Chargers will kneel it again just under 90 seconds from returning to the Super Bowl in over 15 years. There's still going to be some time left on the clock for Oakland, but it's basically over. This will be the final play. The punter is out there, going to be a high one to run out all the clock possible. It's going to be fielded at the 36 and tackled immediately, and it's not the final play. With 1 second left on the clock, they play action it, going deep to Hill, caught, but it doesn't matter as the game is officially over, and that means the San Diego Chargers are your AFC champions. They beat the Raiders for the 2nd straight year in the playoffs, this time in a 28-10 4th quarter smashing to go to the Super Bowl, where they'll be facing the Dallas Cowboys.